What happens when you learn to love yourself? For most of my life, I've been on the other side of the fence when it comes to self-love. Growing up in a mentally and emotionally abusive environment, I had my confidence stripped from me at a very early age. I would go to school and get punched in the face, and it seemed like everywhere I went, someone had a problem with me. So it didn't take long for me to come up with this belief that, obviously there was something wrong with me. And so finding self-love has been a very extremely difficult journey for me. 2014, I attempted to take my life only to have Archangel Michael appear and show me that suicide was no longer an option. When I lost my mom to cancer 13 months prior to that, I looked within and I seen so much healing that was needed that I came to the conclusion that suicide was the only solution that was available to me. After Archangel Michael showed me that that was no longer an option, I found myself on a healing journey that I didn't want to be on because I felt it was impossible. But after almost a decade of working with healers, shamans, Reiki healers, plant medicine, doing the inner work, meditating, getting outdoors, cleaning up my diet, I finally reached a place in my life where I've been able to cultivate self-love. And looking back on my life before I had it compared to now, one of the biggest and most amazing things that I've discovered is just how the opinions of others really don't affect you. I had to look at all my shadows. I had to look at myself, and I sentenced myself to death. And after that wasn't available, I had to learn to love myself. And once I forgave myself for who I became because of this life path that I was on, the opinions of others really mean nothing to me, whether it's good or bad. And people that don't love themselves will run around talking shit about other people. Sometimes this person triggers childhood trauma within them that they don't want to look at, or they have something that this person feels that they can't get. I've had people from my past hate on me who had more than I did when it comes to finances and friends and status, but there was just something about my light that they felt they couldn't obtain on their own, so it triggered this trauma response in them. When you learn to love yourself, you really stop focusing on other people and you bring that love within. Now, a lot of times we think when we experience self-love that our life's going to become amazing, but there's actually a lot of things that come with it that you might not be expecting. Sometimes learning to love yourself means having to cut off people that have been in our life for a long time because you've become aware that they never truly had your back and they're not willing to accept your new boundaries. I came to the conclusion last year, almost a year to the date, that my 9 to 5 that I'd been at for 22 years, same place, same rectangle building, welding the same parts, was killing my soul, and that I would rather be dead continuing to go back to that 9 to 5 because I'd cultivated self-love for me and I knew I needed better. So big things that may be uncomfortable will start to happen in your life when you learn to love yourself. If someone likes my content, that's amazing. I have had amazing comments and people reach out to me, and their comments have put a smile on my face and some even brighten my day. But I don't need that in order to cultivate this feeling within. And one of the greatest gifts that learning to love yourself has brought to me personally is just, I feel like I don't need anything in this life anymore. I don't need that dream relationship. I don't need friends. I don't need the nice car. I don't need a penthouse. I don't need a yacht. I don't need a private jet. I don't need validation from other people. I spent a lot of time looking to the bottom of a bottle for validation, or seeking validation from the opposite sex, seeking validation from friends, all these things exterior to me, when I can just sit here in a chair and feel as if I'm on a dream vacation with my dream partner. Why do I really need that? I can sit here on a rainy day in my garage and just be blissed out for no reason. I caught someone breaking into my car not too long ago, and I was just like, who cares? What you'll find when you start to love yourself is that you don't need to put other people down. You don't need to talk shit. In fact, when you have an urge, I don't even know, if you love yourself, I have no desire to talk shit about people unless they've gone out of their way to do harm. Then I have no problem bringing their bullshit into the light. But for the most part, if I see someone who has more than me, if I'm sitting at a red light and buddy in a Lambo pulls up, you know, before I loved myself, I would just come up with excuses like, oh, he's a drug dealer or a douchebag. But now that I love myself, I'm like, oh, wow, man, you cultivated a lifestyle for you that enabled you to have the abundance to purchase this vehicle. And you know, I'm grateful for being in the presence of this nice ride. And now I look at the person in that car as, you know, I'm like, good for you, man, you made it, like you did it. It's not a nagging force on me, but you know, who doesn't want a Lambo? Learning to love yourself is pretty much the most important thing that we can do down here. You have to heal all your trauma and all the bullshit and release the shadow in order to love yourself. And this is why we're here. It's going to have the greatest impact on you in the afterlife. Stop seeking validation from others. Do the inner work, do the healing work, and you'll learn to love yourself. You'll be easier on yourself, you know, you'll stop being your worst critic, and you'll just have more contentment, ease, and grace in your life. Learn to love yourself. It's the most important thing we can do. It really is. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.